Hey tech lovers, welcome to our latest video. Quick question before we begin. And if you are ready to know about the latest release, the new king of smartphones by Poco. Since we are going to know in today's video the F7 Ultra, which is going to revolutionize without a doubt the market, because unprecedentedly it comes with the latest in technology. And it has the Snapdragon 8 Elite A, a frequency of 4.3 GHz, which gives it brutal performance. A score on AnTuTu of over 2,800,000 points. It has ultra-sharp graphics thanks to its Visual Boss D7, in addition to carrying a triple camera with a 50-megapixel sensor and a floating telephoto lens. And that's not all, as it comes with a screen of 2000 to 120 Hz refresh rate. Crazy, right? In this Tech Ground video, we'll explore the topic in depth, so get cozy and join me. Without a doubt, Poco has revolutionized the high-performance smartphone market because they have brought very competitive prices to all devices. Since the beginning, since they released the F1, they have shown that it is not necessary to spend a fortune to have a high-end phone. And this Poco F7 Ultra confirms that rule. If you like this type of content, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, share this video so that everyone can know about the brand's new launch. And of course, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our reviews. Now let's proceed with the unboxing to see what's included. Inside the box we see a very elegant black box, as usual in the latest devices we have been testing from the brand, with very striking yellow letters. And as soon as we open it, we find the typical cardboard box, in which we have the tool to open the subscriber identity module card tray, the user manual papers, warranty card, and so on. And this gray silicone case, which they have also been including lately in the devices we have been testing. The truth is that it's very good to always have a case for the phone, not having to buy it separately. Below we see the smartphone. We see this F7 Ultra that comes with a plastic, where on the front we have main features such as its processor, its battery, its cameras, and so on. We take it out of the plastic and here we have it. How beautiful, a very premium feel, a very elegant finish, and well, we are going to put this over here. And if we continue digging into the box, we find this piece of a 120W transformer. What a beast, and a charging cable that goes from USB-A to USB-C, about 1 meter long. And that sums up the contents of the Poco F7 Ultra box. The device is already out of its box, and the beast has been unleashed from its cage. Now let's examine the device's size, material composition, and design. And it would have dimensions of 16 centimeters high by 7.49 centimeters wide and a thickness of 8.4 millimeters. Only at its narrowest part and at the widest part, 1 centimeter with 23 millimeters. The truth is that it's a very standard device in terms of size, with its 6.67-inch screen and a weight of only 221 grams. That's what I also appreciate a lot, having a phone that looks premium, but at the same time is lightweight. The manufacturer states that the chassis is made of a combination of aluminum alloy, ceramic, and titanium. On the front we find a screen with a surface area of 89.3%. We see the front camera up top, we see the main speaker also for talking on the phone, and we don't find any other button or any type of indentation. And what we do have on the front is the lock fingerprint on the screen. We have an under-screen lock fingerprint. If we now go to the chassis, on the top edge, well, on all the edges we have a black edge with gray stripes that delimit certain parts. Top edge completely smooth, without anything. Right edge, with volume up and down button on the same module, lock and unlock button, bottom edge, with the main speaker, USB-C input, microphone, and dual subscriber identity module tray. In this case, there are 2 nano SIMs, and we don't have the option to expand the storage because it doesn't have a micro-secure digital tray. On the left edge, completely smooth. And if we move to the back, we see a very marked, very aesthetic division. As you can see that we have at the top where the strip comes from, we would say like acrylic, like glass. We have a background with a circle, as well as darker, a metallic section, a little lighter, also a black metallic strip. Depending on the light, it changes a little bit, where we have the two LEDs that I'm going to put here, because they are quite powerful, they illuminate quite well. And the camera module, which comes with a ring like golden, like that coppery orange, metallic, very nice, which gives it that little aesthetic, that contrast. And the 3 cameras, main camera at the bottom, telephoto camera at the top and wide-angle camera on the right at the bottom. The larger division, in the remaining 3/4 we have the Poco brand name in a metallic finish. I tell you, it doesn't feel plasticky anywhere, and it looks like a very, very ergonomic, dense and well-produced composition, honestly. And lastly, let me not forget to tell you that it comes with IP68 certification, as it will provide protection against dust and water. So we shouldn't be afraid if it rains on us or if we accidentally drop it in a puddle or whatever. Obviously, it's not for submerging, but we have a resistant phone for this kind of weather. I have the ultra black version, and I think it will also be available in white and green like the typical latest models. They have released a few like an emerald green and a white, as well as Arctic, which are also quite beautiful, but just so you know, I have the black version, ultra black. Let's now get to the meat of it, what we have inside, like the processor and the graphics, which is what really interests us when buying a mobile phone. I was telling you that it comes with the latest Qualcomm processor with the Snapdragon 8 Elite powered by an Orion central processing unit with a frequency of 4.32 GHz, which gives it brutal performance, and Adreno 830 graphics, also boosted by its screen with Visual Boss D7 technology. Having high dynamic range to have a very wide color range and a very high frequency also in bits, since this processor scores 2,843,416 points in AnTuTu, practically placing it at the top of the pyramid against its competitors. Competitors? I would dare to say that it is right now on par with iPhone and the new Samsung, and I will tell you why later. Of course, this version that I have here, it has 16 GB of RAM, expandable to 22 through 6 GB of virtual memory, and it has a capacity of 512 of internal storage. Apart from that, to prevent overheating, the device comes with WildBoss 4.0 technology and liquid cooling also 4.0 for very efficient cooling and heat dissipation. That's why we have this metal part here at the back, which keeps the plastic always a bit at temperature, and the metal allows that temperature to be transferred so it doesn't get trapped inside the device. Of course, I suppose it will come out with variations in terms of capacities and RAM. I think there will be versions with 256 GB and 12 GB of RAM. 512 GB and 12 GB of RAM, 512 GB. I believe I have 16 GB of RAM, and there will also be a 1 TB version with 16 GB of RAM. But let's go with 16 GB of RAM and 512 we have phoned for a while, and here they catch us many photos and videos. We have plenty of RAM to run any app. It includes HyperOS 2 for customization layers. 0.0, which I believe in a very short time, if it has not been, there will already be an update to 2.0. One that comes with artificial intelligence that will improve image deletion, will also have improvements for note-taking, performance improvement, functionalities with artificial intelligence that will make everything more fluid and easier. And it has the Android 15 version with the latest of the latest, a Bluetooth 6 connectivity. 0.0. The truth is that they have outdone themselves here, these people, to have super stable and super solid communications with all Wi-Fi devices. 7 that they have also outdone another screen from the dual band game, as is evident, and near-field communication to be able to pay without any problem wirelessly. We now move on to talk about its screen, which is also another icing on the cake. A 667-inch screen, a resolution of 2000, which would be 3200 by 1440 pixels. Having a Flow AMOLED screen that has some colors, the truth is super rich. A vibration thanks to its frame rate of 120 Hz and a color depth of up to 12 bits. I think I've read, okay? Because the truth is that the color depth, the fluidity, is an exaggeratedly fast and comfortable phone for multitasking. As I was telling you, it has high dynamic range, from game high dynamic range and super resolution through Visual Boss D7. It has a pixel density of 526 dots per inch, which makes it unmatched, and nits that would be 3200. We are talking about a mobile that in broad daylight with the sun will also look very correct. And we won't have to be there looking sideways or frontally to see our applications or whatever we are viewing on our phone. And the unique feature of this Poco F7 Ultra would be that it incorporates the new screen protection called Side Glass from Poco. It offers a glass that is much more resistant than all smartphones, and that incorporates in GG7 a very robust screen protection technology apart from eye protection against blue light, and others that is necessary for many hours of using the phone. Gaming section, which many of you also buy phones for the performance it has in terms of gaming, and it has the smart frame rate, which would be an automatic adaptation to be able to fluctuate at different frame rates and thus be able to balance for each game. Give it the performance it needs and have a smoother capacity than any other device I've tested so far. Along with the Game Boss, we've tested games like Marvel, the fighting one, the typical Marvel, Asphalt and Call of Duty. And the truth is that it seems like it's playing on a real computer. Crazy. The truth is that it's crazy. Of course, we leave here the typical test we always do with the videos so you can see the capacity and resolution of this screen. And as for sound, the same. It's a sound, the truth is very rich. In terms of bass, okay, quite enveloping, it sounds very good. I hadn't seen something that sounded so balanced in a while, both in highs and lows. While it doesn't have incredible decibels, we've included a test so you can see and hear it for yourself. You know it goes through the camera's mic, so there will be differences from reality, but you can hear how it sounds. Camera section. Now, if we talk about the cameras, I mentioned that it came with a 3-camera module. The main camera is 50 megapixels with high dynamic range and optical image stabilization, which is the optical stabilizer which uses a little bit of the sensor cut out to stabilize. And the truth is that it looks super smooth. We have a 2.36 inches floating telephoto lens, which will provide a 2x increase. Also from the 50 megapixel sensor, which makes us also maintain that maximum resolution that the sensor can give us, but in a very smooth way, also having an exaggeratedly correct stabilization. The 120-degree wide-angle camera will provide a 32 megapixel quality. It has a good balance. This time they have bet a lot on the camera theme, and that is something I appreciate because I use the camera a lot, and to have a perfect balance between performance, camera, screen and sound. It's difficult in a high-end smartphone because we're talking about a high-end, but at a price that it's not a high-end as such. It also has a 20 times ultra zoom powered by artificial intelligence for photography. This will also improve our stabilization, the increase when the sensor is cropped, also improve the image and get more resolution. And finally, the 20 megapixel front camera that we have on the front. And as for video, the rear camera will reach up to 8,000 at 24 frames and 4,000 at 60 frames per second, and the front camera will reach 30 and 60 frames per second in 1080. The truth is that they look very good, they stabilize great, and then we also have functions like the night camera. We also have ultra high definition typical that comes when we have so many megapixels, the panoramic mode, the slow motion, the dual video time lapse, long exposure and director mode, which is also for people like me, the filmmaker. We can use the phone both as a monitor and as a camera, through which we can hook up our camera and monitor without any problem, without using an extra app. In order to carry out our shots and supervise our projects, of course, it also has portrait mode, it has, as I told you, night mode, document reader, prom mode, and a macro mode that also takes spectacular photos. Front camera of this Poco F7 Ultra at 1080-60 photographers per second. This is how it looks, this is how it sounds, arm fully extended. The truth is that it seems that the resolution is very good and the light changes also behave quite well. Front camera of this Poco F7 Ultra. We are at night. Light changes. It seems that it does not generate much noise in the shadows. I am under here. The light, right now I see myself a little more down, it is already quiet from here, there is less light. Okay, it seems to stabilize quite well and also behaves very well with artificial lights, and the stabilization is very, very good. Well, of course, you guys, what do you think of this front camera at its maximum resolution 1080 at 30 frames per second? The cameras are satisfactory, let's see how the battery performs. Another monstrosity done recently is putting a 6000 mAh battery in this device, with a 120W fast wired charge. I haven't seen a phone with so much power that charges in just 25 minutes. The phone fully charges in under 30 minutes. They have incorporated something that was absent for a long time, which is the wireless charging of up to 50W that we can have, and also the reverse charging that we can also power other devices with our phone. And well, this has been all we have seen of the main features of what we should know about this Poco F7 Ultra before buying it. I have seen a very balanced phone, a very powerful phone with very good performance, with unmatched capabilities, a phone that I am going to keep. I usually have used Xiaomi, but since I have known Poco, as I mentioned at the beginning, we have high performance phones with a lot of capacity at a price that doesn't require a paycheck. We don't have to go into debt. We don't have to go to the 1,500 or 1,400 euros. And I recommend it to you if you are looking for a powerful smartphone. If you want to use it for every day, for multitasking, it's more than enough. With the capacity we have inside and the features, it's going to move any application. Whether you are dedicated to any profession, if you also enjoy gaming. It's a very good phone, it doesn't overheat, it has a screen with quite correct dimensions. We don't have a super big phone, we have a phone with a very clear screen. That's great. I'm curious about your thoughts, and if you are also anticipating this cucumber revelation. It caught me off guard. I was anxious, I was already wishing, because I tried the last one, the X7, I liked it a lot too. But I knew that with this F7 series, they were going to go out, they were going to pass the screen without any kind of doubts. Without further delay, I'd like to read your comments, opinions, doubts, and recommendations. Thank you for being here. The purchase link will be in the description for your access. And then again, so I ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Leave a like if you liked it. You help us a lot to continue making content. Share this video so that everyone can know about the latest model that has just been released to the market, which is going to revolutionize it. Absolutely everything. And without further ado, I say goodbye for today. This has been all here at TechGround. See you in the next video. See you soon. Thank you.